All right. Ooh, now I see it. So it was kind of funny. Brent and I were talking about this yesterday. We were live, but not really live. Like we were live and presenting out to the interwebs, but still kind of going through our not even pre-conversation. Well, yeah, I guess it was our pre-conversation. Now what I noticed is we've got in the top left-hand corner, at least on my screen, I've got a red square that indicates that we're live. So I'll watch for that as we're going through. And right now we've got one person viewing us.
It's probably
And
just me and my other account because that's what I use for the comments section.
I'm in there now too. So I see. All
Yep, I
right.
got you.
So, Brent, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty good. It's going to be a great day today. It's Thursday.
It is Thursday, and there's a chance it cracks 100 out here today.
I know. It was warm yesterday.
Dude, it was more than warm. I thought it was hot. I was out. Yeah, I mean, you know this. I usually will go walk the golf course around. Depends on day. Tuesdays I get 18 in, which is a good day for me, and I try to keep that clean. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I will try to get at least get 9 holes in and walk, and it becomes my walking meditation. And one of the advantages of it getting hot is there'll be fewer people out on the golf course at that time of day, because for whatever reason, people who live in Arizona tend to shy away from they'd rather go play golf earlier in the morning when it's a little bit cooler than when it's 110 out. And there's a chance that we're going to break 100 today, which is, I can't remember the last time. I don't know that we've done this before the Ides of March.
Don't believe we have. No, it's been quite cool. And I'm sure people on the East Coast that are actually probably the only ones watching this early in the morning are not appreciating this particular topic this morning.
they, they can move.
No, no. The heat is miserable, everyone. You do not want to come to Arizona. It is the worst. It is just, oh, so awful. Do not. Do not. I mean, if you think the snow's bad, just wait.
Good morning, Wendy.
Except you, Wendy. You come on out anytime. And
We got a
Craig.
different, we got a different background today. We didn't go with the burnt newspaper. We've got the Central Texas. I get it. High next week, like 94, 96. Wow. Yeah. So Wendy understands it. Um, and Wendy also understands why we keep saying you don't want to be here in Arizona.
It's yeah. So it's hot in Texas too.
Yeah.
So
It's just
everything's
it's
bigger
growing.
in Texas. Well, all right. So, two things I was thinking about this morning besides rolling through the news. There's some good news this morning, but I had the executive producer run twice, and I've done that before, and I've regretted it because I liked one or two stories in one, and then one or two stories in the other, and I kind of want to be like, oh, let's mix and match, and no time. And so I just had to let it go. But on the one that we're not using, it showed a video from Josh Burson talking about how finally somebody has come forth and said, yeah, AI is replacing corporate training.
Who's the somebody?
Josh Burson.
Oh, Josh said it. Josh said that AI is
He's
replacing
he's
corporate.
he's put a stake in the. Apparently, I didn't watch the video. I'm looking forward to watching it, but I was like, oh, it's about time somebody finally came out and admitted it in our industry. So there's that we could talk about, and then there's what we talked
Drop it
about
into Slack.
yesterday.
Drop it into Slack so we can see the video. We can watch the video. And just as a reminder for those of you who are new to this, we do have a Slack channel that's going. It's an open Slack channel where we keep the separate channels within Slack organized by week. So you can always go back in and watch the episode where we talk about that certain thing. And you can see the dialogue back and forth with a couple of folks on what we thought about this thing, plus how we're applying some of this work in the workplace. Because if for as much as everybody likes to talk about sustainability, for whatever reason, we consume a lot of information and then don't do anything with it. And that to me sounds like waste. Let's reduce waste by doing something with the information we consume, or at least determining that it wasn't worth consuming. So head over, let us know about joining the Slack channel and we can get you in there. That'll be
Indeed.
good.
And now I don't know where I saw that video. Maybe I just hallucinated it. I don't know, but
Maybe so.
I'm
Maybe
certain
so.
it was a YouTube video. So if somebody wants to do a quick search and find it and drop it in the Slack, that'd be great.
Is this actually Brent that I'm talking to, or is this the synthesia version of Brent and the AI that is hallucinating?
It is. I don't know. I just don't know.
How can I tell? Like, is there a Turing test for Brent? Like,
There is no Turing test. Yeah, I am.
so it's interesting. Is this common in the L&D space? And this happened recently where CEO of HubSpot made a comment about something in the sales space. And basically, when the comment was made about something in the sales space, everybody rolled their eyes and they're like, "Okay, welcome to the party. HubSpot CEO now agrees that this thing is going on." And I forget the specific details. Go find it, and maybe we can incorporate that into the Slack thing. But basically, the response was, "Oh, okay, thanks. Welcome here." It seems like in the L&D space, when one of the big people says something, everybody's like, "Oh, someone finally said it. That's where we are. We're there. You're right. We're there." And it's almost like we wait for those from upon high to come down from the mountaintop and tell us when things are changing. Like Josh Bersin coming down and saying AI is going to replace the training function inside organizations. Is L&D just made of followers?
If I had a big graphic and a sound effect for a hot take, I believe I would drop that right now.
It's funny.
That is a hot take, Mike, and that is a brutal stab at the industry. So,
Should I have played my ukulele?
oh, hey, yes, you should hear, and I'll let you. You can go ahead and this
Oh no,
is
we're already past it. Next time, I'll get better.
this is the mic focus screen.
Let me put my ukulele back into its little box. And I was like,
Ooh, fancy.
I keep running into it. So another welcome to my world kind of thing. I have a lot of stuff around me, which includes some golf clubs, and putters, and ukulele, and I like to move around a lot. That's why I end up using wireless lab mics when I'm doing most of the other videos that you'll see me do. The problem with moving around with all of these things is I hit obstacles, and depending on which microphone I'm using, you'll hear them go in the back. So a lot of times when you see a cut on a video, it's a cut on a video because I kicked a putter and it slid down the wall and made this noise that my wireless lab mics like to pick up, that this ATR 2100 doesn't pick up. But yeah, I guess that's one of those things. Maybe in L&D the L&D is like the land of the blind, the man with one eye rules. Which of you are going to have one eye and start ruling? All right.
Well,
All right,
I don't know.
before I get into a lot of trouble, maybe we should go to the script version of this show.
Maybe let's go to the news.
It's just too bad that Craig missed out on that. Wendy, you got to hear part of it. And Wendy,
She's like, I'm so glad.
yeah. What? Huh? Wah, 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 wah. Yeah. There you go.
Well, there's the other graphic I'll make. I'll have there goes Mike again. Okay, so here's how we're going to do this today. Well, it'll just be exciting since I'm starting the script. Just get ready. Get ready. Here we go. Here we go. We're going to do it as normal.
It's time for today's headlines.
Good morning, corporate America. It's March 11th, 2026. I'm Brent, and I haven't slept since the last Articulate update.
And I'm Mike, and I just tried to prompt my coffee maker to make a latte, and it hallucinated a tea. We are live.
Today's breaking news.
Our top story, science. A groundbreaking study from the University of Rochester just dropped in Science, and it's turning everything we know about the brain upside down, or the train. For decades, we thought learning meant neurons becoming more independent, like a group of teenagers finally moving out of their parents' basement.
Brent, some of us are still in the basement.
You're just in a room full of stuff. Well, the study shows that as we learn, our neurons actually start communicating more. It's called neural teamwork. They become more coordinated, sharing information to make sense of the world.
Wait, so what you're saying is my brain is just one giant Slack channel. No wonder why I'm tired. But seriously, why do we care? Because this proves that generative feedback loops, where the brain combines what it expects with what it sees, is the secret sauce. If your training doesn't challenge a learner's expectations, their neural teamwork is basically just a meeting that could have been an email.
Speaking of emails, let's talk tech. TrueScore just launched AI tech capabilities for 360-degree feedback, and Quizlet is now a native app inside ChatGPT.
Quizlet in ChatGPT. That's like giving a student the answers and the cheat sheet, then having the cheat sheet explain why it's cheating. It's active learning on steroids. You can turn an AI conversation directly into a flashcard.
And TrueScore's AI feedback insights means managers no longer have to read 50 pages of Bob is great, but sometimes smells like tuna. The AI just summarizes it. Bob, high performer, low hygiene. It's a game changer for leader development.
This is one of the reasons why I love AI is it communicates like me. Now, for our human and culture segment, the AI disconnect. A new survey from Slingshot shows that 86% of CEOs think AI use is mandatory. Meanwhile, only 49% of middle managers are actually telling their teams to use it.
It's the classic mom says yes, dad says no dynamic, but with multi-billion-dollar LLMs. Only 20% of workers view AI as a coworker. Most see it as that weird tool that keeps suggesting I start my emails with, I hope this finds you well.
L&D pros, this is your moment. You aren't just teaching people how to use tools. You're the marriage counselor between the C-suite's dreams and middle managers. I don't have time for this reality.
Let's shift gears to the auto industry.
Before we do it, let's take a quick break, if you don't mind. Like, I think this is kind of interesting because we've got two different pieces here. We've got the and I call bullshit on 20%. And the reason why I say 20% call bullshit on 20%, depending on the industry and market that you're working with, there are a number of people who aren't even aware that this stuff is going on. Like, so if you had a 20%, adoption rate across your business with these tools, I think that would be looked at as a success. Is that, I guess it depends on industry, but would you say 20% adoption rate inside organizations would be success?
I would say at this point of the trend or the the paradigm shift, whatever we're calling it. Yes, I would say 20% is a massive success.
So it's kind of interesting on that side. The other one that I like is this, teamwork makes the dream work happen inside the brain. And it's like,
It's the neural teamwork, Mike. It's using your neurons as a team.
yeah. So how do those neurons communicate with each other? Do you have to train them to communicate with each other?
I don't know. Probably. I think we might have to drop the link in the chat and see what else anybody has to say about it.
I think so too.
And
just
thank you,
interesting
Wendy,
to
for appreciating the intro.
Yes. I think what she meant to say is I really like the intro music. No, I'm just messing around.
Oh no, she just likes the whole darn intro. That's what I'm going with.
Where we warm up.
Yeah, since we're in our cold read this morning, I didn't realize that since I switched back to Gemini, that it would move so quickly from one topic to the next. So I missed all my little in between segment songs.
Yeah. Well, that's why I paused. Well, part of the reason I paused us is because we were on a run where we were going to be through the news before like 6:20 this morning, and we'd have like another 25 minutes just to fill up. And us, we would have dead air. We'd just be staring.
We'd have such a hard time coming up with something to talk about.
We don't have anything to talk about at this point in time. So I thought I'd throw in a little speed bump there. But
well, I appreciate you doing that, because now I could. We could go back to human and culture.
We don't need to go back.
Okay, well, we'll just move on to industry then. Well, the study show. Where does the industry start?
So it's the classic.
Oh, I scrolled all the way back up to the top. Yeah, it doesn't even break it up as stories. Okay, it's the classic. Mom says.
Oh wait, nope, we just did that one. Sorry. You are.
Let's shift gears to the auto industry. Okay, boom.
And now a random industry with an L&D problem. Solving the L&D problem.
Let's shift gears to the auto industry. Sony and Honda's AFEELA, AFEELA brand just announced they've cut the time to generate autonomous driving training data by 50% using AI-based trajectory inference.
50%? In L&D terms, that's like finishing a 60-minute compliance course in 30 minutes and actually remembering why you can't accept a bribe from a vendor. Why is this important? Because it shows that learning is now a cloud-based architecture. If a car can learn to drive twice as fast as your sales team, if your car can learn to drive twice as fast, your sales team has no excuse for not knowing the new CRM.
Well, and there you have it.
And now for the news in authoring tools.
Finally, the tools of the trade. Articulate 360 has unleashed its AI assistant. We're talking AI synced timelines, no more dragging those little bars for 3 hours, and an AI chat that writes JavaScript for you.
I tried the JavaScript feature. I told it, make this button explode with joy, and it actually worked. Well, the button didn't explode, but the learner got a very enthusiastic, great job, and a confetti trigger.
It's all about moving from content factories to performance enablement. If the AI is doing the clicky work, you have to do the thinky work.
Thinky work? Is that a technical term, Brent?
It's in the new neuroscience study, Mike. Look it up. That's our show. I'm going to go coordinate my neurons.
And I'm going to go see if AFEELA can drive me to lunch. Stay curious, L&D.
Breaking news feed, technological bleed. AI is shifting our entire culture's creed. Industry is facing challenges, struggling to take the lead. Yeah! Authoring tools plant the final seed. great weekend!
I like the metal sign-off. That's good.
It's energetic.
Yeah. Have we done the metal version before?
No, I don't think we've done a heavy metal version before. I did that just for Craig. I just thought,
Good.
I need to make one for Craig.
Yeah, that was good. I like that one.
And he wasn't even here for it.
He wasn't here for it. So so initial feedback on the show, because we went back to Gemini.
Yep.
What'd you think?
Well, it didn't break it up as stories, so it didn't give us the heading that says a separate story. So that sucks. So it lacked cues.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why it may have done that was I added a new line to the code that said keep the script under 15 minutes, and it must have read that and just ignored the rest of making each story. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but here's on the bright side. I did like the speed and the pace of it a little bit, because I mean, I think there's multiple ways we can go through and do the show, right? We can do the news from beginning to end, just cold read, and then go back and talk about each story individually and have a conversation about it with the audience. Or we can do like we did, if something's pressing, we can just do click timeout. Let's stop and talk about that. That's important, which I think is totally fine. Yeah. But I don't know. Well, I mean, what's your thought?
Well, I think the just kind of playing it by ear, clicking and stopping and talking about it, because that's important, is a good one, because sometimes there's going to be some things where it's like, hold on, we need to go a little bit deeper into that one, because we move so fast through it that there's really not a lot of substance. Like I felt like, and now we're going into feelings, which means I should get the ukulele out and be like, Mike's feelings. So I'm not really a feeling guy, but the feeling I felt, if that makes sense, was, okay, now Mike's up. He's going to say some kind of one-liner that isn't going to land, and try to connect it to some other thing. Like, and now it's going to go back. And it seemed like overly intent. There was this kind of over focus. It was trying too hard to be funny in that instance, not just letting the humor kind of play out, which I think it gets a little bit better at when we let it go a little bit longer. So the update to the prompt might be, and we need our resident prompt expert here, Craig. So even when you're not here, you still get mentioned. The update to the prompt might be include headings or clear breaks for each story. So headings, so that we see it in the script. And then the other one might be had a little bit more context or something to the read there or something.
Isn't it interesting though how each of the LLMs handles it differently? Because that Claude adds a lot of context, almost too much. Each story in Claude felt a little long and a little draggy, and it almost felt like, I think that's what kind of clouded you and I. It felt like to me is like, okay, we read all this stuff about this story, but I don't even know what we read. So I like how Gemini keeps it tight and focused, but yet at the same time, it feels like there needs to be just a little bit more.
Yeah, I think a little bit more, and there doesn't always have to be a punchline. Could you imagine? You're sitting at a bar with someone, you're having a conversation, and every time that you say something, they come back with some kind of one-liner to try to make fun of it. Like, how many times would you want to go sit down and have that conversation? You'd be like, why is...
in Gemini's defense, I did tell it to write it like an SNL script. So
I understand. I get it. Well, I think that's the whole kind of learning and iteration process as we're going through it, which we're kind of talking about before we hit. Yeah, we did hit on. We covered articulate, but it was more like a joke on articulate, as it was like it was something to the effect of faster than the most in less time than it takes for articulate to launch their new update or something like that.
No, it's Articulate 360 has unleashed its AI assistant. So the AI assistant is the main topic. We're talking AI synced timelines.
Right. That was the one where the button celebrates.
Yes, the explosive button.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the if the AI is doing the clicky work, you have to do the thinky work. I mean, come on. I mean, that's
it's good. It's good. It's as we go through this, it will get better. The other thing I really like is I like these. Actually, I liked that Claude. Was it Claude yesterday? Did we do Claude yesterday or Grok?
We did Claude yesterday.
So I like that Claude at the end gave the back and forth on the 5 stories that were discussed.
Yes, it gave a summary. Yes.
And it wasn't even, and it was just like a one line to just kind of say, hey, you know what, if you want to go back and watch this, go back and watch this piece. I like the graphics here. Like, for Wendy to be able to say, hey, did we already get into the Articulate 360 stuff? That could be.
Yeah, I wasn't hitting my iPad on the slide deck at the appropriate times, so that's on me. I'll have to figure out cues there, but I'll add that into the script and see if it adds it. But yeah, from a production perspective, in the spirit of Brent, don't work so hard and don't stay up so late doing it. That's why I switched back to Gemini. I thought, okay, I'll just run the executive producer in Gemini, and then we have a script, and then that's fine. If I wake up early enough and I have time, I'll pull together some extra stuff. So I like this. I like just having a simple background better.
Yeah.
And I like how just coincidentally I just picked the color for the background before the slides were made, but I like how it came out matching in the same color. So that was kind of nice. For these parts of the conversation, where maybe you and I have some conversation back and forth and we hit the focus, I need to add the comment section there, because if we go on a rant talking, I still want to be able to see what's going on in the comments. So yeah. I'll fix that.
There was a post, I think it's from 3 days ago, where what was the thing? It was something that you said. You commented on it, and I thought, oh, that's going to be a good one for us to bring up in this if we've got some extra time. I'm still I don't know. Do you remember? That's the
You mean a topic for us to discuss if we have extra time?
Yeah, it was.
Well, it was a post by.
Well, there was the HBR article, but it was different. That was different. This one, yeah. This one was different. This is the. Where is it? Because this one was. Oh, here we go. Training doesn't drive learning at work. Individual motivations and systems do. Do you remember that one?
Wow, that must have been a while ago.
Sandra Laughlin. She's chief learning scientist, future work.
That was a while ago.
It's 3 days ago. I guess in internet.
In AI days, Mike, that's a long time ago.
A long time ago. It was about why people spend money, and what I liked about your comment. So I'll drop this in to see if we can, I'll put this in the Slack so that people can see it. But what I liked about your comment here is you said it's important to remember that there are different business reasons why leaders spend money on training. The very last thing on their list is because I'm concerned about the effectiveness of learning interventions impacting my employees' performance. They hire people to perform. They don't hire people to learn how to perform. If they were not legally mandated training requirements, I'd guess business leaders would be happy to spend their dollars on anything but training.
Wow, did I say that? That's a hot take right there.
So
why'd you have to bring that up?
There you go, Brent. I read your comments on LinkedIn. I thought this was pretty good.
But I mean, obviously I'm being a little bit extreme and I'm overgeneralizing, but does it land? Does it track?
I just read it out loud. Did it land or track with you? Or are you like, man, maybe didn't have enough coffee that morning or something?
Well, I said it. I'm curious what you think. Does it sound like bullshit?
No, so I think there's and I've gone, when I say I go deep into certain things, I think in my mind, I go deep on it, but I think I just touch on a surface level and then come back to it every once in a while. And really what people probably would like to hear me do is go a little bit deeper into it. But, there are some people who operate in the fractional space who are fractional for convenience rather than fractional by design. And what I mean there is they're out of a job. Mm-hmm. So they come in and they're like, "Oh,
I'm fractional.
I'm going to play fractional for a little bit. I'll go in and play inside your business." And the unfortunate part about it is they play inside your business trying to figure out what they do and how they do it and all of these things. You don't play inside people's business when you come in as a consultant or as someone or as a fractional operator who's coming in to help fix things. If you want to learn as you're going along, go get a W-2 job to learn as you're going along and do that stuff. And I think when you hire people into roles, you hire them for the role that you need them to work on today, and you expect that they're going to grow in that role, and you're going to find opportunities for them to find experience. Like if you believe in continuous learning and continuous progress and growing and building a culture of learning inside your organization and a culture of innovation and all of these things, then yeah, I think you are going to invest time, energy, and resources in helping people perform better over the long haul. And there's a partnership that happens with someone when they bring someone in for a W-2 role or to be an employee inside the business. And then those skills ideally get used and are applied into a new organization if they join that organization or into the growth of your organization. What I don't think you do is you don't bring a consultant in and have them train or learn on your business. So I think there's just different iterations, because as you go through and you hire someone into a certain role, let's say I hire someone into a senior accounting executive role. So this is a person who senior, I like it better when we're both like split. Not this.
You don't like being Big Mike?
I don't like being Big Mike. I'm good with the two. Like I like that frame. What's the frame where you have both of us up there at the same time? We both have equal. Well, because that's what it is. I mean, it's a conversation. Even though I'm going on a little bit of a rant here, when you hire a senior account executive, there's an expectation around what it means for them to be a senior person moving into that role, and it's not an age thing; it's an experience thing. When you hire a entry-level account executive, there's an expectation that I'm going to have to train the fuck out of this person so that they can build their skills, and I'm going to trade with them. They're going to have a lower OTE, on target earning, and in return, I'm going to help develop them into the role that they want to be, and they've got right attitude and right initiative. So I think it's nuanced. It depends, I guess, is where I go.
Yeah, and I guess that's. That's why I said I think I'm overgeneralizing it for sure because, for example, in the insurance industry, they will hire mass groups of people to be the insurance adjusters. When you get in a car accident, the person you talk to that does all the paperwork, right? They hire you. They hire in cohorts. They do a 90-day training program. Once you get through the gauntlet of the interview process and all that, and they know that's just part of the gig. There's this epic amount of training, and mostly because those people have to they have to be licensed and all that kind of stuff. And it's a job that most people don't end up really liking. It's hard to find that right fit. But I think when you're looking at small businesses and the typical, mom and pop shop looking to hire somebody, I mean, I don't know if it's, yeah, I guess to your point, I guess I'm just reiterating what you said. If it's entry level, you're going to have to train them up, but to a certain extent, you're going to be looking for people who are motivated to learn, right? And motivated to grow and motivated to go to the next step. You don't want to have to keep prodding them and saying, hey, there's this, we offer this great training, be sure to take it. And they're like, shit, more training. You're looking for people that are like, hey, so what, after 90 days, so what's next for me? Where's, if I'm here for a year, where can I expect to be and how do I get there? And they're motivated to start working there, that they're the type of person that wants to get better is really what I'm saying. And nobody, like, I don't know. I always put myself in the seat of somebody that owns a business.
Sure.
It is scary. If you think about it, think about, you've invested $1 million in a business over time. Maybe you didn't start out that way. It was just you and a friend. You start a business over time. You've invested a boatload of money. You've got work that needs to get done, or you want somebody that can take some work off your plate.
Yep.
You may know that you're going to have to teach somebody how you like the work being done, but you want to hire somebody that is, you're thinking to yourself, I have this thing that I do that I don't want to do. I'm not necessarily good at it, but I know it has to be done. I need to hire somebody that's really good at it and just get it off my plate and have somebody be better at it. I guess that's really the only point I'm trying to make. You'd rather hire somebody that just comes preloaded.
Yeah.
And then there's the trade-off with cost, right? If you have to pay, you're going to pay a premium for somebody that comes in already trained and already, done. If you hire somebody that you like them and you think they'll do a good job, but they don't really know the job yet, but you're confident that they will, you could pay them less, but you're going to be paying more in spinning them up and getting them up to speed on the job. So when you're looking at it from a business perspective, you're always looking at those trade-offs. At least I assume most owners are.
Have you ever joined a company where in your couple of conversations that you had with the leader of the business, might be the owner of the business, might be the CEO of the business, might be the highest executive that you've had access to, where your impression of them through the interview process was very different than what you realized once you were inside the organization?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you're normal. You're a human. Okay. So this happens.
I've had a few of those.
Yeah, right. We all have, right? Like we've experienced that kind of stuff. It's like, and I joke about it. I say it this way: you gotta forgive yourself as you go through it, because you could drive down the street, wave at your neighbor's house, wave at your neighbor, everything's good, everybody's smiling. You stop by their garage, have a couple of beers, everything's good. Maybe go in the backyard, barbecue, and everything is good. Water main goes in your house, and you got to move in there for 2 weeks, and you realize there's just a fuck ton of crazy happening inside that house. But on the surface, everything looks good. So that happens on both sides. It happens both from an ownership and executive level, again, humans, and a hiring individual contributor and leader level, because everybody's on their best behavior in those initial interviews. They're like they're wearing the mask of, ooh, I want to hire this person. And the reason why I want to hire this person, I want a yes, because I want to be accepted. And I want a yes, because I need to solve for this specific job. And I want a yes because of X, Y, or Z. And then on the other side, I want a yes because I want to make money and I want stability. And I hope that this thing is right. So I'm looking for all the good in this whole thing. And then all of a sudden, you find that life is kind of like an S curve, and you go through the excitement period of honeymoon, and everything is good, and then it's like, ooh, holy crap! I'm not really in control of this thing. Kind of like the visuals that are going on as we're doing this thing. But
I don't know why
anyways,
that happened.
there's that piece that's going to happen, and we've got to be okay with it. And this is one of the reasons why I think gig type work, fractional work, part-time work, whatever it is that you want to call it, I think is going to continue to increase in popularity and impact in the marketplace for those who are willing to take on that risk. And the reason it's going to increase is because when you have a certain set of skills, like a Liam Neeson, and you can go in and do a certain set of things, and someone needs to apply those skills in their business, you can get a really high exchange of value there, and they're happy to pay for it at a leadership level to solve for the problem. You're happy to do it because you know that you can do it. Here's the fucking problem. And this gets into that HBR article. It is so easy to present yourself as an expert now, because all you have to do is go to the LLM and say, I'm an expert in whatever. What are the top
Do
three
we have the
tools?
link for that article again?
It's in the Slack. It's in Slack, I think. If not, we'll go back and find it. But
Oh, here, I got it.
it's the whole thought leader versus thought doer kind of thing. And so buyer beware. Ask questions as you go through. Be careful about confirmation bias and recency bias and the rosy color glasses that you might be wearing as you go through it. But yeah, Wendy, I don't know if you've read this one yet, but there's the tie in between both of those things. I think it's super interesting that this is what's happening. Actually, I think there are a lot of people in learning and development roles in organizations who are scared, and they're scared about what Burson said, which is, hey, these tools are going to replace it. And then there's people out there who are taking advantage of the fear piece and saying, well, I'll show you how to work with all these tools. And we'll work with them and test and see what their capabilities are. But beyond that, go work with the tools on your own, and you'd be shocked at what your capabilities are. Just ask this question to ChatGPT or Claude or whatever the fuck it is that you want to use. How do I use you? What's the best to use you? Like, I'm new here. How do I work with this tool?
Yeah.
And you'd be shocked at what a tool who is not emotionally connected to their job role will tell you. Because on the other side, you might be told, go to the LMS, click on your role inside the organization, and then there'll be this taxonomy of all of the different skills that you can go through. And when you find a skill that's interesting, you can click on that and you can go through a 30-minute e-learning course on this, and then you can quiz it and you'll get a badge, because at the end of that quiz, we know that you're certified as someone who does good discovery.
Well, it is, when I was reading through the article yesterday, that it crossed my mind how many people out there in the L&D consulting world, and for the longest time you could get away with it, could just walk in as a consultant, right? Get a big contract. If you were good at getting a big contract, you just hired out the rest of the work. There are plenty of Articulate developers out there, and whatever. You closed the deal. You take a percentage off the top, and you you make the deal. Yeah, I'm going to have to hire an instructional designer to do it. I'm going to have to hire so and so. I'm going to have to hire a team. And here's what the team's going to cost. Here's what the whole project's going to cost. And I'm going to project management, whatever.
Yeah.
And then companies started deciding, well, I just want to hire the e-learning developer. And, developers, all we need is someone to make this thing, right? And so they just decided to just hire that person. I mean, I've seen it done so many different ways. So many different businesses have approached it differently. Some spend a lot of money, some spent not much money. And I'm sure it's that way across in a lot of other industries as well. But I think to kind of blend the two stories together,
Yeah.
this is all that's left, right? The faux thought leadership thing is all that's left in a world of everything going away. For white collar workers, because to be an expert, and it's in the article, it just, you got AI. The AI is the actual expert. You just get to present yourself as one because you've learned how to use AI to get all the answers you need to communicate with a company that needs your services or whatever.
We talked about the quote. It's like any new technology is indistinguishable from magic, and I forget I think it's the Arthur C. Clarke quote, if I remember right. But there's this is the beauty of the AI tool. You can go in and you can ask that question: who said, and depending on which AI tool you use, it will come back and say, ooh, you were close. Here's the actual quote. Or it might say, you're misremembering, or nope, that's not the right quote. I think what you're referring to is this thing. And it's Wendy's sharing about how her husband was using the tool to create some music clips. When you get out there and use the tool, you'll start to figure out, hey, does this thing work for me or not? Does it do what I need it to do or not? And I think if I could like get one of those Harry Potter magic wands or the Men in Black, wand thing that removes memory, or just bop people over the head like the baboon did in The Lion King. If I could do any one of those kind of things, the thing I would do is say, go out and do things. And then ask yourself this question: do I want to do more of that? Yes or no? If yes, then does it impact others? Then do more of those things. Like the things that you want to do more of that have a high impact on others, do more of those kind of things, because there's an opportunity for you to not have to hate the fact that you go to work every Monday morning. And it's getting closer and closer and closer because access to information is there. Your experience and expertise and your perspective is what makes you unique and different. And there's an opportunity to share that and help present that. And that's about as rosy and fluffy as I will get around this kind of stuff. But yeah, it's if someone is telling you have to do it this way, just ask them this question: why? And then go in and prompt the LLM in front of them a different way and see what happens. And then ask them, I guess you don't have to, or actually make this statement: I guess you don't have to do it this way, because there's different ways. And that was one of the cool things that we saw in the hackathon that we did a couple of weeks ago. And we've got another one coming up. We got another one coming up here in a couple of weeks. So Wendy's husband, his experience was he liked it. He liked it once. He figured out how to talk to it, and he hated it at first. We asked it to do something instead of saying he couldn't do it. It tried and then said, "Oh, I can't do that."
Yeah, and ChatGPT doesn't have that LLM or whatever, that model. I believe is the correct term. It does not have a music model created yet. Yeah. I went out when I first started seeing music being created with AI. I think I went out and I paid $20 for a month of like Sono, I think is what Craig recommended, and something else. And so when when Gemini announced or Google announced that Gemini can now create music, I immediately canceled that account after just putting one prompt into Gemini and doing it. And it just means that they added a model that you just click a button and it forces the model to do that. So you can't. It's interesting how Gemini works. I don't want to go into it too deep because I actually need to end the show a little early today. But I love that your husband is doing it. It'll be fun to see what he comes up with, Wendy. Tell him to just jump into Gemini and click the button at the bottom that says make music.
Cool.
Awesome.
Brent, where do we want to send people?
To live with BrentandMike.com and to do subscribe and like in the YouTube channel because you're in the YouTube channel if you're watching this.
Subscribe and like in the YouTube channel. Share it with other folks. Get involved in the comments and the conversation. And let's see where this thing goes because where we're going, we don't need roads.
And we're not here on Fridays, but we will be back on Monday. But I will also say I'm going to be out Wednesday and Thursday next week. So, Mike, you're on solo, or unless Wendy wants to jump in with Craig. Craig said he could fill in for a day, but he had to go short. So I don't know.
No, we'll keep it going because we're going to do the daily thing. What we've got to figure out is how do I get access to Ecamm?
No, I think just do it and restream those 2 days.
Just do it and restream for next week.
Do with what you're comfortable in, and just push restream over there.
Perfect. All right.
Well,
guess who's going to be learning something new in the next couple of days? All right. Well, Brian,
awesome.
Always good conversation.
I'm curious to see how the Josh Burson stuff comes out. Because I think it just came out, him doing that. So between now and Monday, I think there's going to be a lot of online furor.
I'm here for it.
I'm totally here for it.
What I'd like to do is I'd like people to shift and Wendy, I'll send you that. We'll keep that going in Slack. I would like to see someone really start to get into what's next and what they're testing.
Yeah.
Because
I think that's the whole premise. I think a little bit of his announcement was a little bit of clickbait, and I think he's probably just going to go into the whole thing. We need to level up our skills and become strategic and blah, 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 and okay.
And if you'd like to read something on that before Josh Burson says it and it becomes official, take a look at the article that I put on X and the article that I put on LinkedIn about the 5 leadership skills that are essential for this period that we're working through. And they're fundamental things: problem solving, decision making, goal setting and execution, design and communication. You get good at those 5 things, like the 5 or what is it, 3 colors, you can make any color you want. Let's wrap
gnarly.
it there.
See everybody. Have a great weekend.